Oh, yeah. Well, hello there.
Hi,
How's
welcome to episode 48 of Checkpoint Chat.
God, I
had
hope,
to look
I hope
there.
it's 48. Is
Jeez,
it
my
48?
finger is still so sore.
Is it bleeding?
It's nearly there. It's probably going to be
So
like a little blood
for
blister.
those of you who don't know,
Jesus.
Alessandro just dropped some. Well, you didn't drop the mics. How would you explain
Well,
that? The
no,
little
it's like
extender
the
thing.
little mic extender. I opened up the release and my finger was there and it fell and like pinched me really hard. It's pretty sore now. It's
Well, now you can quit.
Yeah, I mean,
You're done.
I'm going to sue the podcast for damages.
You're going to claim from health insurance. I can't do my work.
Yep, can't
Pay
do my
me-
work.
What do you call that sort of pay?
This is a work.
I don't know.
What, like danger
Irrelevant.
pay?
Yeah, it's like no. Like if you here's a good example. If Lenska were to lose the use of her one hand, let's say, she can't
God
really.
forbid.
God forbid, she can't really do architecture. So your medical aid, you can claim from that. Not medical aid. Was it? I don't know. This is a weird discussion. Health insurance, whatever you want to call it, you can claim from that because you're incapable of doing your profession.
I think that's
What is that called?
Isn't that no? It's not UIF, but it's like. I know what you're talking about.
It's like disability pay or something.
There's like a fund that deals with that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what I'm getting at is that you should claim from that fund.
I should
Because
claim.
your pinched thumb has rendered you incapable,
Rendered me useless.
useless. Oh my God! Now you have to tweak those knobs with your left hand. No.
Oh my god, yeah. I'm seeing how this compressor works again. I thought we had these settings dialed down to a T,
And
but
we
clearly-
don't.
Clearly not.
Yeah.
The volume's extremely high, and it's
Man.
concerning me.
What?
I don't
What's
know.
going on?
I don't understand how any of this works.
So I was telling Alessandro, obviously being away, I haven't listened to us, our episodes. I was listening on the drive over, and I was like, inexplicably, I was very loud sometimes and very soft other times. Mm-hmm. And then we were like, well, the compressor should be fixing that. And
Yeah.
turns out it hasn't really been doing that. So
Yeah, I don't know. All I've read with the compressor is that you see every now and then it blinks on. That's what it
Yeah.
should be doing. It shouldn't always be on. It should be blinking on and off because it blinks when it's compressing either range. So when I go really loud, turns on. See, check it out.
I'm not watching those lights bounce up. Even I'm hitting the orange level. Oh, wait, I'm not even making it to orange. There we go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's perfect. That's
Yes.
perfect. This is a technical chat on Checkpoint.
Yeah.
It's really good. I
now
wish I understood more about sound, like sound stuff. Fucking baffles.
It's actual sorcery. I mean, you did have your one friend over we had your one friend over the one time. We were like, come have a look at our soundboard and please tweak everything, make a sound beautiful. And he came over and he was like, no, these settings are great, man.
Yeah.
So
And he's a
I
sound
don't know.
engineer, so he works in Dubai on like concerts, so he knows what the fuck he's talking about. So if you think our sound is garbage, well, fuck you.
well, we actually
No,
have
I'm
tweaked
joking.
knobs since then.
Please no.
So
Please no. We take all feedback to heart.
please don't stop listening to us.
Yeah, please don't stop listening to us.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but ever since we got these new mics, I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, and these new stands.
So
good.
Except that fucking
Except
attack me.
health hazard, we don't know that
Jesus.
you can lose a finger potentially. We're going to leave that on the Amazon review.
I'm very
3 out of
sure.
5.
Check it out. It's bruising now.
Oh my
It's-
God.
That's a good time.
Will you be okay?
I might.
How will
die.
you make it?
No, I don't think so. I think this is the last podcast.
Who you can leave all your dogs
We're
to?
so close to 50.
Oh,
so
no.
close.
We're going to check out you have to have at least one more and you get 49.
Yeah.
And then episode 50, we start to be like, and then you die.
It's been a long run. Goodbye.
Like, damn it,
I'm
we're
not
so
feeling good,
close.
Mr. Stark.
No. And then you just dissipate. Psst.
I actually watched the Avengers movie on the plane again.
Did
After
you?
Oh yeah, Matty got married.
I got married. Surprise. I'm a married
Surprise,
man.
married's
My
a
left
massive
hand's
man.
so heavy now. This ring is so heavy. Not
Is
really.
it weird?
You know what I really like about it? I have something to play with all the time now.
Yeah, fair. Yeah. That's
I
a good
like
point.
fidgeting. Some ways like, yeah, ring off, ring on. Yeah.
Do you take it off when you sleep?
No, leave it
So
on.
you just it's easier to keep it on.
Yeah.
What happens if your fingers get fat overnight?
Well, when I proposed to Lenska way back when, and she was also sleeping with a ring, it freaked her out a bit because she's like, my fingers swell, and I wake up in the middle of the night and it feels tight. But her ring has since been made a little bit bigger. So
I can imagine on a
good.
plane because like everything swells on a plane.
Yeah.
Like, it must feel weird. Like that's why you don't take your shoes off
I
on a
think-
plane.
you don't take your shoes off on a plane.
You should not know.
Why?
Do you take your
I
shoes
do.
off? Do you wear those compression socks?
No.
Okay, you should not do that.
Why?
So
I've never had an issue all my life.
So what happens is when you go up, like because of the pressure, the cabin pressure and the altitude, like everything like on your body swells. So
Yeah.
like your feet swell. That's why when you put on your shoes when you're done, it feels like super tight. And it shouldn't. You should rather keep them on because then they swell according to your shoe, or people buy compression socks.
But if I'm taking my shoes off when we're in the air, does that not count?
No, it's the same thing. What are you talking about?
I don't want to fly with shoes though, or compression socks.
Compression socks are dope. It
I've
helps
never had an
circulation.
issue.
It's good for circulation.
Oh my god! Now this is a problem I didn't even realize I had. Now next time I
Yeah.
fly, I'm like, my feet are swelling.
No,
What
man,
is going on?
I've always I used to take off my shoes and then putting on my shoes and I'm like, fuck, this is uncomfortable. And it turns out it's like pretty bad for circulation. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting this wrong. You can send us corrections.
I don't know. I'm not saying feet don't swell, but I think my shoes are big enough that even with swollen feet, I have no issue.
Fair enough.
Maybe.
Fair enough. The one of your wife's, that's weird.
I had
Your
to say that on
wife's
the phone the
friend-
other day.
Yeah.
He's like, my wife, and yes, my wife.
my wife. I'm not making this up. I am married. One of your wife's friends, or Lenska's friends, Lindy, I flew back with her, and she took off her shoes, and I was literally about to do the whole thing of, well, actually,
Don't do it.
And then she put on socks. I'm like, are those compression socks? She's like, yeah. I was like, okay, cool. You know what you do.
Like, God damn, you're so smart.
Yeah, you're so smart. You know what's up.
Unlike your best friend's husband. What an idiot.
Fucking Matty doesn't
Hey,
know how to
Lenska
fly.
takes her shoes off as well.
Man,
Both
you
of us
guys-
like, shoes off, comfort.
Not comfort. Wrong.
Wrong.
Guys are all gonna
Wrong.
Yeah, literally. Just like no. If I was
Noise.
next to you on the plane, like in the
You'd
middle of
shake
both
my
of you,
head.
just like stare at both of you, like
Like, what's going
the
on?
fuck you do.
This is why these two are married. They both take their shoes off.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. I guess if you're gonna get like blood circulation issues, you'll both get it together.
That's fine.
Yeah.
There's no going back now.
Hold hands in hospital, something like that.
We're so cute.
Yeah, no, so
in our
cute.
hospital beds.
And they'll be like, "Did you take your shoes
Swollen
off on the
feet.
plane? You idiots!"
Like, you're so cute even when your feet are swollen.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you too.
So your ring doesn't swell.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, wow. That is no, it doesn't.
Okay. Yeah, I was
it's a good
I was
size.
just fascinated by that because I was like, yeah, I don't know. I'm scared of things getting stuck in my finger.
No.
It was very interesting at your wedding, which you can still find cached on Facebook
Oh, yes.
on Matty's profile.
Got the video coming soon.
When you were putting Lenska's ring on.
Oh my
you were
God,
like,
that is the best.
Does this fit? And she's like, it definitely does fit. And I was just
Yeah.
like, what is going on?
No, but she said it is actually, she's like, you need to push harder. And then everyone, you could hear like a handful of people going,
That's what she said. Literally.
oh, it was so good.
So funny. So
my
funny.
God.
I didn't want to say that at your wedding.
But it was said, so it's fine. What has happened has happened.
Yeah, it was a good time. I really enjoyed that wedding.
Enjoy Madeira?
Madeira was a good time, yeah. Really,
great.
really enjoyed that. Sorry about not having an episode last week. Glenn let me down. One
Why you
asshole.
do this, Glenn? Why are you like this?
Yeah, no, shame. He got sick.
He was ill.
So
There was something going around because even, did you have like tummy issues?
no, he didn't say. He said his chest was a bit fucked.
Oh, okay. Because
Yeah.
I was obviously still part of my work WhatsApp groups, and there was a bug going around the office.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just like, thank God I'm away.
Well, that was me when I got back. I just had the worst food poisoning.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was a bad time. That was the only non-Portuguese meal I had in Madeira. Fucked
And
me
you
up.
died.
Yeah, fucked me up. Although burgers aren't really Madeira, but those are good.
There was
oh
some
my
good burgers.
God, yeah, really, really. Dennis the Menace.
Oh, I tried it. Yeah, I ate there 3 times. I had
Damn.
the Dennis the Menace.
I had a Dennis. the Menace on
I had the
last one.
classic because why not?
Classic was
And
good.
the Godfather. That was a burger, right?
Yeah.
I
that's-
tried
I had
those
the
3.
market, which was
All
pretty
3
good
of them
as
so
well.
good.
Yeah, I know that place was
Not at all Madeiran, but really good burgers.
and
if you
fairly well priced.
yeah. I mean, a burger is what, like 6-7 euros, which
Yeah.
isn't cheap for us, but if you think about it, there it's like stupidly cheap.
Yeah, no, it was pretty cheap considering. Oh man, my favorite was still €1 for a breezer, which is this fantastic granadilla
I'm
drink
so
that you
glad
only
you've
find in
had it
Madeira.
now.
Oh, so good.
It's really good.
€1 for a breezer and €1 for a nata, and it was like
And
breakfast, diabetes.
Schneza.
Yeah, and then a Schneza, €1 for a Schneza, which is like a baby cappuccino.
Yeah, but it's
I drank so much coffee there. It was really good.
The coffee is great there. Yeah. But that's a pro tip. If you ever go to Madeira, don't order the cappuccino because you pay like 3 to 4 euros.
Yeah,
But you're like, oh, what?
And
Schneza
there's
is
too much milk in their cappuccinos.
Yeah, and a Schneza is basically our cappuccino.
Yeah.
And it's like €1 or
Yeah,
less.
their cappuccinos are too big. Like there's hardly any coffee in there at that point. So I wasn't
So much
even
milk.
because I had one and I was like, oh, this is not good.
Yeah, and you died. I mean, you got
Schneza,
food
pretty
poisoning.
good. I had a lot of Americanos as well.
Yeah.
Really good coffee.
What do
Holy
they call
shit.
them? A Shino.
Yeah, I think it's Shino. Yeah.
Something, yeah. Madeira. This is
Caffeine
where
withdrawal when I got back.
We
Holy
plug
crap.
plug Madeira. Go visit the little island. It's great.
This is Checkpoint Chat.
Yeah.
We talk about
for
games.
and
eventually.
weddings.
And weddings.
Wedding chat.
People, we are now 50% married.
Hit us up. We organize a wedding in another country. We know what we
Yeah.
do.
Matty and Lenska
And by,
know what
by
they're
we, I
fucking doing.
mean, Lenska did like 90%. I did 10%. I was there to like, yeah.
You guys did a lot of Wedman.
We did
like,
a lot of Wedman.
A lot
Holy
of Wedman.
shitballs, yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, it worked. Everything went without a hitch. And here we
Hot
are.
damn.
We had a great MC, a.k.a.
Nah, I
you.
don't think so.
A 10 out of 10. You should do stand-up
10 out of
comedy. You were
10.
great.
How is it?
You were like...
I felt there were parts
like-
here and there that were a bit cringe. I was like, oh, I'm losing them.
No. You were roasting Lenska nasty. It was great.
I wasn't sure how far to
and
go.
then she was like, what the fuck? And then you landed like, yeah, and you like had a nice little laugh. So she's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, was she like, is he roasting me?
No,
What is
initially,
going
because
on?
you're like, yeah, Lenska's very competitive. And she was laughing. And she's like, well, but okay, it's not selling me really well. And you're like, yeah, but you're competitive with yourself and it's a great quality. And you landed it well.
Had to bring it round, man.
So good.
The one part that I wasn't sure about was like when I said, have you heard of Lenska when she runs? Because her breathing when she runs really alarmed me the first time.
It was funny because everyone who's run with Lenska will know.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm like, a lot of people run with Lenskias, so they kind of know. Like,
Yeah.
it feels alarming. Like,
Yeah.
but then you just get used to it.
It's like she's dying, but she's fine.
It feels like she's dying, but you look at her and she looks great. She
fine,
looks
yeah.
fine, yeah. But I'm just like, ooh,
No, it is great.
terrifying. Okay, good.
Give you a
good.
10 out of 10 on
Nice.
mc.com.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's a new freelance MC website.
MCBNB.
Me and DJ Luigi, we hang out there.
DJ Luigi, what
Put
a
your
DJ.
hands in the air.
That guy. Okay.
So we've been playing a lot of games especially while traveling.
A lot of Switch games.
Yeah, we actually ended up playing the same game on Switch.
What?
We both hopped back into Celeste.
Although I'd never played Celeste before, so
So I restarted because I can't remember if I actually finished the game. I got pretty far, but then I was like, fuck, I do not remember how to play this game.
Yeah.
And like, I'm sure as you've seen, each stage presents like new mechanics.
Yeah.
So I was just like, fuck this, I'm just going to restart. And I think from the flight from here to Angola, I played it nonstop. Like when I was on the plane, they were like, oh, we're landing. I'm like, what?
How did this happen?
Yeah. And that flight's like, what, like 3-4 hours?
Yeah, 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah, I was like, Jesus, already? And I'd got really far in Celeste.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm enjoying it.
So good. Oh my god. That
How's your experience of it the first time?
that game's like my dream, man. Platformer, really hard, great story. The
Yeah, you
music,
dig
the
your
music's
platformers, yeah.
great.
Yes.
So good.
Lana Rain makes a phenomenal soundtrack.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not that far in, to be honest. I played a fair amount of Mario Kart on the trip as well, but story for another
Lenska got
day.
addicted, huh?
She got addicted. I'm so proud.
Good.
I'm about, I'd say, 4 hours into Celeste.
Which
so
sort of stage have you just
I've
finished?
just finished the wind area, and I've gone into
to me the worst
worst.
stage of the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Worst is a powerful word. Like the most challenging and also slightly most annoying.
Yeah, I think you and Miklos were saying on Twitter that it's almost placed wrong, where it feels like a difficulty spike unnecessarily.
It's a strange skill check.
Yeah.
Like, it just suddenly becomes because I think the area up before that is the library,
Yeah,
and that's hard, but it's not.
it's not
nowhere near that hard.
Look,
yeah.
the wind area, it was challenging, but I didn't hate it. But yeah, it is like some of those puzzles. Oh, okay, wait. Let me just say this. Celeste is really good at making you think that something's impossible until you just figure it out,
Yes.
and you're like, oh, like I can do this. But before that, how many times do you die? Like I just can't do this. It's impossible. There's no ways I can get from A to B, and then you figure out like, oh, okay. Like, I
there's
just figured it out.
definitely some stages where I'm looking at it, I'm like, I can't see a viable solution. I
Yeah.
can't see a way to do this. So, yeah, no, there's definitely those parts.
Although I will say in the wind area, there's one mechanic that you have to literally like stumble upon, where those little moving platforms, the fact that you can move them up or down or left and right, they don't tell you that.
Yeah, and they don't
like,
introduce it that
no.
naturally, yeah.
Because there's one area you needed to progress to the next area, and I'm like, this platform like gets destroyed before I get anywhere close.
Yeah.
Like, what is the point? And only by accident, I figured you can move this thing. Like,
When you're on top of it, you move, and you're like, wait, it moved with
it
me.
moved.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, you could have maybe just told us, like, hey, you can move this.
Or just designed a puzzle that made it a bit more obvious.
Yeah, like not make you have to travel from A to B, which is on the other side of the screen.
I think the part that got me was because all the blocks look the same, some of them you can interact with, some you can't. Like maybe there should have been a button on the top or something where you stand on it.
The thing is, it's there, but it's like very subtle.
Yeah,
you know, if they made it more distinct,
subtle,
or like you said, make it like a little pressure point you can hear or see that like it pushes down or.
Because once you figure that out, then it's like
it's fine,
the puzzle's still difficult, but it's like, oh, now I understand that it's
yeah.
actually possible. So
yeah, but no, the game's great. I'm really enjoying it. How long is it? Do you know?
well, I don't think I finished it, but I think it's like 7 stages in total.
Okay, but
7 or 8,
then you get
so the wind is like halfway.
Okay.
Yeah, but then you get your B-sides are very difficult. And then if you're a masochist, you can go and try get all the strawberries.
I've missed one strawberry. Oh wait, no, not in total. Okay, here's
Jesus, no way.
I'll say this: all the strawberries I see, I always get.
Okay, I get what you mean.
Like,
okay.
I will not leave until I've got it. There's only been one where I'm like, okay, I actually don't know how to get it. I'm over it.
But how many times do you get to the stage you're like, wait,
get to the end of the stage,
like 6 or 7 of them.
No, not even. You get to the end of the stage, it's like there are 25 strawberries in the stage. I'm like, yeah, I got a lot of them. And it's like, you got 10 of those 25.
Yeah.
I'm like, but where were the other 15?
Where the fuck? Yeah, some of them are well hidden.
Like super well hidden. I've stumbled upon some areas. I'm like, oh. Like, that is a complete mistake. Oh, there's a strawberry here.
What I like about the strawberries in Celeste is that even the game is just like, hey, these mean nothing.
Nothing, yeah.
Like, they add a bit of challenge to some rooms that you can self-impose, but, like, you can leave them.
Oh, God. And I'm the person who's like, I'm not leaving.
It is difficult. Like, I normally try, and then when I start getting frustrated, I go, okay, give yourself another 5 runs.
Yeah.
And if I don't get it, I go, whatever, I'm done.
Yeah, you're done.
Like,
yeah. I mean, it doesn't prove anything. It's more for you. Like, yeah, I did it.
Because
cool.
some are fucking difficult to get through, especially those ones with wings. So if you dash, they fly away.
They fly away.
Strawberries with wings.
So
this is Celeste.
Oh my God. Oh, yeah, I suppose we didn't explain that properly.
Yeah.
So let's throughout the maps in Celeste are just the strawberry collectibles, and they like in absurd places, very hard to get. And like Alessandro said, you don't have to get them. And the game tells you up front, like, it's a nice thing. You can try, but you don't have to. It doesn't progress you. There's no, like, areas hidden behind strawberries or collecting a certain amount. Just a little optional extra, which is a nice touch, I think.
Oh, yeah, no, 100%. It's just like this little, like, hey, you can make this a little bit harder for yourself if you really want to. So it's pretty neat. I quite like it. The thing that I really like about Celeste, though, is its story. It's got the story that is so good, like undeservingly good. It's like a platformer that deals with like themes of depression and anxiety in such clever ways.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, your character isn't called Celeste. The mountain is called Celeste.
Yeah, Celeste. Your character is called Madeline.
Madeline. And Madeline's just dealing with like this like internal struggle of like committing to something and going through with it, and like anxiety over whether she has the ability to do something, and like that's represented really well in this very literal climb up this mountain. I love the friend that she finds along the way, Theo. He's really
it's cool. Snap selfies everywhere.
Yeah, he even used YOLO at one point. It's very, very good. And then, there's like this really good manifestation of Madeline's anxiety in this like evil character, which
like
is
an alter
really
ego
clever. Yeah, like it's like her, but like letting all her fears take over and like affecting relationships with other people. But even then, there's other characters that like are like different themes of that. Like the hotel owner, Onishiro, I
Yeah.
think his name is.
It's Mr. O something. I don't know.
Yeah, and he's just like, he's like the embodiment of someone who can't let go of something.
Yeah.
And also is like extremely anxious and insecure about stuff. It's like so good. It's
Yeah.
just so well written. For a game with no
I
dialogue.
love that character. I mean, I've only just finished the hotel and done the wind area. But the hotel, I love that character. Just the way the dialogue's written, where you have him speaking like, well, yes, come stay at the hotel. Then you have the voice of doubt in him saying like, oh my God, like, you know, what are you doing? And it's just so
And
clever.
you find the note showing that, oh, he's actually like, the hotel closed down years ago.
And he's just there.
I just love like, because they're like, the voice audio is just this like indiscernible like mumbling. But they put like pictures on it so you can tell tone from them. Like when
no,
Madeline's
it's so clever.
irritated.
She's like,
Yeah, and then her like portrait pictures like very
I love the
irritated.
portrait pictures.
Yeah.
It's just clever. I mean, there's no actual dialogue, but it conveys it so well. It's just the expressions and, like you say, the tone. It's clever, man. Like, I haven't finished the game. I'm only halfway through, but I'm in love with it, and I can see why it was a Game of the Year contender with the likes of God of War and Red Dead Redemption. I mean, it's like an indie game. What an
And it came
achievement
out
for
in,
that
like,
studio.
January,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it is Matt Thorson who he did Towerfall.
Oh yeah.
He knows a thing or
Stuff.
two about designing really good games. But like you said, I think the surprising bit was like, this is a really well designed puzzle platformer that is hard, that has really inventive mechanics, and then just this amazing story.
And it's
and the
accessible.
soundtrack. And it's accessible. Like, if you're fucking up too much, like, you can break the rules of the game. Matt Thorson has a really good philosophy on this, where he's just like, it's not his decision to say whether or not a player should play by his rules. And even though, like, he specifically says in this interview, he's spent hours and hours balancing these levels, and these accessibility options essentially
Break them.
they rip away all that effort, because like, you can just bypass everything. But he's like, if that allows people to experience the story or play the game at a pace that is fine with them, then who's he to say otherwise?
Yeah.
Which is really interesting for something
more
else coming
on that later.
Yeah. Celeste is brilliant. It's
I
it's
look
perfect
forward
on
to playing
Switch as
more.
well. I think.
It's great on Switch, yeah.
Yeah, I do think I'm interested to know, are you using the D-pad or analog stick?
I'm using the analog.
Oh, interesting. I'm using the D-pad.
Yeah, they're out. I mean, I remember you saying when we spoke about it last year sometime that you have to be precise, and there are a few frustrating moments where you think you've got the right direction and you don't, and you die.
Yeah, like you want to air dash horizontally and you end up doing diagonally, and you're like, oh god.
But now it happened to me when I started playing the game, but now I make like a very conscious effort to be like, I need to go diagonally, I need to make sure I'm aiming it. And like, it happens every now and then, but I've found I've had no issues otherwise with the
Celeste was literally the reason I modded my Switch Joy-Con to have a proper D-pad. I was like, fuck this, I need a D-pad. Like,
Yeah.
I can't with these buttons. Like,
with the OG D-pad, the buttons are like I like that they click, but I don't think it works well with.
But like diagonally, you have to click two buttons.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel right. So I'm using analog, and
analog is
fine.
actually fine.
Yeah.
I go back and forth depending. Like, so there's some areas where like you need the speed of the diagonal the analog stick.
Yeah.
So yeah, but
Have to
it's
bounce
a
between
really
the two.
really precise game, and it's really easy. It's just like jump button, dash button, grab button, like whatever.
On my first flight, I started playing the game. I played for like an hour and a bit, and then we obviously had our stopover. We got into the next flight, started playing, and I was like, "Man, this puzzle's hard. Like, how did they expect me to?" And I was like, "Oh wait, you can climb." I just completely forgot about that.
Yeah, that's essentially. I went back when I came back to the game and started again. I was like, I was the same. I forgot you could climb, and that's when I was like, I'm just going to restart.
You're going to restart, yeah. I mean, and like in my defense, when I know like Celeste is not at all Metroidvania, but I'm used to playing games where you get given these things like one at a time. But right out the gate, it's like, here's your dash, here's a wall grab. And I just completely forgot. It's like, oh.
How good's
what's
that
going
opening?
on?
You're running across a bridge and it's like, oh, you're going to fall and die.
Yeah, it's like, oh, wait,
you can dash. Boom. Yeah, really, really good.
So good. Would recommend. I'm gonna.
Yeah,
I
that
look forward to
soundtrack. I
finishing
listen to
it.
that soundtrack so often.
Super chill.
It's really chill, but it brings through the themes of the story really well. But also like for a game where you're dying constantly,
all the time.
the music doesn't get old.
No.
Like it loops in a
the
logical
time,
way, and
yeah.
it's really good.
It's great, and you die a lot in that game.
I think Lana Rain, she was nominated for best soundtrack. It didn't win, I don't think. She's been nominated a couple of times. But I think if I'm not mistaken, this was like her first game soundtrack.
That's like unbelievable.
And I remember when it came out, everyone was like, "Who the fuck?
Who are you?
Who is this? This is incredible." There's on Spotify. There's even a few remixes from some other famous
I must look it up.
soundtrack people. So Yukio Coolio. He does the soundtrack for like a lot of Flambier's games, like Nuclear Throne and stuff. He did the soundtrack for a minute, and he remixed one of Celeste's songs, and it's
that's awesome.
really good.
I'm gonna listen to that on Spotify.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
Spotify, but that's Celeste.
What a game! What a good game! I think
really
perfect
good.
on Switch. So.
So good.
I think it's on PS4 and Xbox as well. You can grab it on.
It's on a bunch of platforms.
Yeah, and it's on PC, but that game on Switch is just 100%.
Just the power of
perfect.
portability.
Yeah, perfect game.
What have you been playing?
So I've been playing a bunch this week. One
so
thing
much stuff.
that I've been playing is Katana Zero, but I can't talk about it.
But you just did.
Yeah, it's a game. You can look at the trailer. It was a big hit at PAX East, which just took place, and that's where I like really reminded myself that it existed.
Well, what is it? It's just a matter of interest.
It's like a 2D. It reminds me of like Hotline Miami. So like you've got stages and you die with one hit.
no.
But it's like 2D side scrolling. It's not top down.
Okay.
And the whole thing is like you're this samurai and you've got a sword and you can slow down time. So you can do cool things like slow down time, deflect a bullet back at an enemy, jump in the air, slash people. Like it's really good.
That's cool.
Look at the trailer.
Sure.
It's got some good game feel in there, and I can't wait to talk about it because that game goes places that I did not.
Well,
Holy shit!
it goes overseas. It comes back.
It goes in some
goes
places.
to space.
Yeah. But the other game I've been playing and reviewing is called Islanders.
Islanders. Ooh.
Yeah. So I saw someone share a GIF on Twitter about this game, and it looked really chill. It was like they're like, "Oh, this is a very minimalistic, easy to play city builder," and I'm like, "Okay."
Nice.
So I got in touch with the devs, got a review key. The devs, they're called Grizzly Games. I've never heard of them. And I started playing, and man, this game is really fun. Essentially, it's this like high score attack city builder.
Oh.
So you're on an island and you're given like a pack of buildings. So like think of like a pack of cards in Hearthstone. You're given one and you've got this like score, this like goal. So like the first goal is like get 20 points.
Yeah.
And every building has a points associated with it. So like for example, a city square will give you 8 points. But if you place the city square on this island near a statue, it will add 3 more points to that.
Okay.
So then you place it. Then part of that pack, you've got like houses or mansions. A mansion, when placed close to a city square, will get additional points to its just base points. And then if it's close to maybe houses and a statue, it gets more points. So it's like...
you're trying to balance all this out.
Yeah, it's like you're placing buildings on this limited space, this island, but you're trying to do it strategically so that you build all these like points combos.
Yeah.
And then it starts getting more complicated, like fishing stations. If you can place them, and if they're close to like villages, then they get more points. But if you have 2 fishing stations close to each other, then they stop minusing points from
I know.
So it's like
Stealing my fish.
exactly. So it's like you've got to balance this, and every time you reach the point score, you get a new pack. And the game is over when you've run out of things to place and you haven't reached the new score goal, so you have nothing else to place, and it's just like game over. This is your score. And so as you keep building, you start exploring new islands, because like obviously the island you're on gets pretty packed, and it's like you've unlocked a new place. So you keep your score and you restart on a new island. But it's this constant like I feel like the first few score goals are the most important, and then after then it's really easy to just not really think about where you're placing things and win. Well, at least I thought that, and then like I got to this game over screen, I was like, oh shit!
I know you can die
because I thought I was so far ahead. There were like some buildings I was placing, I was getting like 50 points at a time. I was like way ahead.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is just to carry on. It's very chill though. There's no like time limit that is keeping you back. It's got this really minimalistic, like flat art style. It reminds me a lot of oh man, I'm blanking on the game now. But it's like, you know, like one of those like low poly type things. There's no like, I wish there were little people that walk to like.
Oh, aren't there?
No, you just place the buildings and they're like animated a little bit. I thought it would be cool if like you saw little people like walking across. But it's got a really chill like soundtrack. It's just like very.
That sounds cool though.
Very
Islanders.
Yeah, it's very therapeutic, and I thought it was just like a therapeutic city builder. I didn't realize it had this whole scoring mechanic to it. So it makes it like a strategy. It's like a puzzle. It's a puzzle game. Like, oh yeah, you're trying to Google it. Good luck. Yeah.
I'm not.
Because Islanders is like
it's like a baseball team.
Yeah, it's like a team in the state. So even if you Google Islanders game, it comes up with this team.
Yeah, Islanders.
There we go. Yeah.
City building puzzle game.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also ran into Sam Michelle. I was like, man, you guys should have checked your SOE on this shit beforehand.
Steam. Yeah, that's
because man,
because people search Islanders on
it's out on Steam right now.
Yeah,
I think it launched this week. I don't know how much
it is. It is a casual 46 rand.
Oh, sure, 100% worth that.
I mean, 100%. It's normally 52 rand, but if you buy it now, 10% off.
This is the perfect game for like a phone. Like a mobile device.
But is it only available on PC?
I think it's only on PC for now. I think it'll come.
What? I think I know what game you're talking about. It reminds me a lot of.
It's got this real minimalistic vibe.
I haven't played the game, but the colors, doesn't it? It reminds me a lot of RAM.
Yeah. It's like very bright, flat colors. Low poly art. It almost reminds me of that Peter Molyneux game. What was it? Goddess?
No. Black and white.
No. The one where remember that?
It's
and you
shit. No, I remember. I know.
He made like a city builder as well, or something like that. That never really took off. Yeah.
Monument Valley? No.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, it's got the colors.
In terms of
yeah.
Okay, but it looks cool though.
Yeah, $46 is a steal for this game because it's like, well, I guess I wouldn't say endlessly replayable, but I played about 2 hours, and it was like, yeah, I want to play again because I want to get a high score.
Yeah,
this is fun. The only shit thing is that once you game over, like restarting feels a bit slow. Yeah. It's like the same thing with the Dota game. You're just at the height of your power, and like, you've got to build up again.
I've got to start again.
Yeah,
backwards.
Exactly. But it's easy to pick up, really chilled out to play. $46. You should get Lenska to play it. I think she'll dig it as well.
Islanders. It'd be nice if it was on mobile.
Yeah, I 100% wish it was like. I wish I wasn't at my desk playing this. Like, if I had it on my phone or like an iPad.
Or like a Switch. I mean,
or like a Switch, just like
putting
playing it in bed.
Oh my God.
And also like placing things with your finger, like.
A little bit easier.
I wouldn't be surprised if it maybe makes its way there if it succeeds on Steam, maybe. But
well, from the page now, it's I think user reviews, it's 9 out of 10.
Oh yeah.
So it looks like it's being received pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, I really dig it.
Grizzly Games, you're right. I've never heard of Grizzly Games.
Yeah,
it's all reviews, 97% of the 242 user reviews. So that's very,
good.
very positive.
Pretty good, yeah. Yeah, and I guess for that entry point, like
it's very accessible.
Yeah, I mean, I would have thought it was like $150 or something. Like 46 rand is
like
almost
nothing.
criminal.
I'm trying to see review wise how many hours these people have played. 3.4 hours, 2 hours.
I played about 2 hours.
6 hours. Yeah, it's like it's quite a spread.
I thought on my third run I did really well, and then because they have like a global leaderboard, and I'm like 1,300 in the world. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, I'm great.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty far off people.
So you realize there are only 1,200 people playing the game. Like, no, how did this happen?
And then I saw some like Steam achievements, and I was like, oh, there are like islands that I haven't got to yet.
Yeah,
like, hectic like progression. So it's pretty cool.
So yeah, I was gonna say you obviously get different islands to build on.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
it's
yeah,
got a-
as soon as like one island starts becoming too overpopulated, you move to a
move
new
on,
one.
yeah.
But like each island presents its own problems. Like geographically, it might be difficult to like get buildings close together, or like there won't be as many resources like trees or flowers. So like a lumber yard gets more points if it's put near trees. Put it that way. So like you've got to survey the land, because whenever you get a new like pack of buildings, you get a choice between two. It's like, do you want this one or this one? So like if I see an island with very few trees, I generally won't pick the lumber yard. I'll pick something else. So yeah, this like it's like very light strategy. Like I think if you really sit and think about it, you could get really high scores, but at the same time, it's not strict enough that it's going to punish like one mistake, you know what I mean? So
Sounds cool though.
yeah, it's pretty lenient.
Islanders.
Very
Or
good.
Islanders. Yeah. Should we move on to some gaming releases?
Let's get some releases up in here.
35 minutes. We're doing well for a change.
Doing well.
For a
I
change.
think there's actually quite a bit coming out this week.
What?
Yeah.
April? April's got some
April
stuff.
suddenly got busy. Suddenly, just like
Surprise
got
busyness.
so busy.
What released while I was away? Anything big? Anything besides the Division 2, which I think launched like the day,
Yeah.
the week I left, or
Borderlands got that like
the update.
Yeah.
That's Borderlands 1 though, hey? Or was it
And-
Borderlands
and
2?
two.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
Borderlands 1 got like remastered, and 2 just got like a texture pack.
Is that
or whatever.
update free on PC?
Yep.
I should 100% play Borderlands 2.
I started playing Borderlands 2 again. That game's aged. Yeah.
I know.
The humor's aged quite weirdly.
Or you've just grown up.
Yeah,
Oh.
one of it. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah, nothing really big. That Yoshi game came out. Risk of Rain 2. That like
Yes.
surprise launched, and
It was a
we
surprise.
both have it. Yeah.
It's weird because I remember when I think you messaged me saying like, yeah, Risk of Rain 2. I was like, oh my God, that's exciting. And I looked it up as like, that was announced a couple of months ago. I was like, I vaguely remember,
It was announced years ago.
or whenever it was like, and I was like, I vaguely remember that happening, but I just completely forgot about it. Now they're like, playable now, early access.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
I remember it was a big thing because they were like, hey, we're making a sequel and it's in 3D. I was like, what?
I can't remember that at all.
Yeah, no, I distinctly remember that.
I mean, to the point where now I looked up Risk of Rain 2. I was like, wait a minute, this is in 3D?
yeah, it's
What is
completely,
going on?
it's like the 2D game just switched to 3D. It looks like a lot.
It
of
looks
fun.
awesome.
Yeah. So we'll play that. Okay, we're looking at releases from today, which is the 6th of April, to the, just clicking my calendar, to the 12th of April, which is, Jesus, halfway through April.
I know, where's this year going?
Dangerous Driving, out on April 9th. This looks fun. So this is from the studio which has a lot of former Burnout devs on. They've been making games for a while. They did that Dangerous Golf
Driving.
thing.
Oh, it's the same studio.
Yeah,
okay.
and they did. And all of those have been like hit or miss, you know. They're like, oh, we're making a game based on Burnout's Crash Mode. It's like, fuck yeah. And
But
then
it's
like,
golf.
yeah. So Dangerous Driving looks like Burnout 2.
Oh.
Straight down to the really old looking UI. Like, I really am not a fan of the UI. But the driving looks really fun.
That's cool though.
So
Does it look
and
dangerous?
It looks driving.
Whoa.
Whoa. Yeah, pretty uninspired name, but
Oh my God.
it's out on PC, PS4, Xbox One.
Dangerous driving.
Zanki Zero, Last Beginning.
Okay.
Sounds like a ninja game. I'm gonna
you look it up. Zanki.
Zanki Zero.
Zanki Zero. Oh, is this anime-ish?
It says survival game.
Oh.
It does look like anime though. Like
Zanki.
very anime.
Oh.
It is anime as
What
fuck.
the hell? Yeah,
this is so anime.
That is very anime.
There's a
Charge
goat.
combo. Yeah, this is a survival. What? How is it a survival game?
Explore the ruins, dungeons, and islands in this post-apocalyptic world through the POV point of view of 8 protagonists as they fight for survival and search for meaning. In their never-ending cycles of life and death. Wow, this got
drama.
hardcore.
Okay, but that screenshot has an arcade cabinet. So it's very post-apocalyptic by the
Yeah,
sounds
very
of things.
post-apocalyptic, very
Technology,
it almost
buildings,
looks
it's all
like,
there.
Man, check out this guy. He gyms.
Yo! Wow, I didn't realize Nicola was into game.
No, I mean, I would say it's Nicola, but that dude's got a full head of hair. So
oh, These burns happening.
Yo,
yeah.
he's gonna kill me.
God, you're gonna die. Rip.
Falcon Age for PS4 and PSVR.
Scrawl.
Hearthstone: Rise of the Shadows. This is that
Is
new
that out this week?
expansion. Yeah, April
She's
9th.
like, I have fallen so hard off the Hearthstone bandwagon. I didn't even know, like, when's the last game I played. It was about a year ago, actually. In April? I don't remember what it's called. She's like,
I feel like the people still playing Hearthstone are really hardcore into it. They're spending money and whatever, and that's the people that Blizzard is now catering to. So
Yeah.
that's 100% fine.
that's fine.
Yeah, it's not for me anymore.
Hearthstone, yeah.
Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney Trilogy, out on
Whoa.
PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. This is pretty cool
Little
because I've never
bundle,
played
yeah.
any of these.
No, I've heard that really
And
good.
I just want to see that objection.
Objection!
Yeah.
Play this game.
Objection.
Objection.
I think
Your
it's
Honor.
like a puzzle game.
Objection, yeah. I think it's a lawyer puzzle game.
Lawyer puzzle game. Okay. I'm down.
or something. I don't know.
I'm down.
I just know that you yell objection.
Yeah, that's
you
all
solve-
I
solve-
know in
solve
Marvel
crimes.
vs. Capcom, you shout objection in your
Really?
fights. Yeah.
What? Oh, what? Is he a character?
Marvel vs. Capcom, yeah. Because it's a
Why-
Capcom property.
Why
I
are you
think.
like this, Capcom?
Unless I'm like.
Oh my
okay,
God,
no,
you-
I need to look. This up. What's his name?
Yeah, Phoenix Wright against like Thanos. Like, objection. He's like, snap, objection. What's going
Phoenix
on?
Wright, Marvel vs. Capcom.
Oh no, is he an actor?
Yeah, he is. He's
He's
in
a
Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Capcom.
Okay. I didn't fever dream this. Yeah, look at him.
Wow.
He's so cell shaded.
I can't believe
Is one of
this.
his moves called his special moves are called paperwork. Paperwork high. Press the witness. Present evidence.
No ways.
This is these
Best
are the
lawyer
names of his
character
special
ever.
Moves. Oh my fucking god.
Phoenix
Oh,
Wright.
Phoenix Wright is his English name. His Japanese name is Ryuichi Naruhodo. If I'm
Okay.
saying that sort of right.
I'm sure you didn't butcher that at all.
No, not at all. No, nailed it. The Mystery of Woolly Mountain, PC and Switch. I think this is like an adventure game. I think Noel's been checking this
Ooh.
out. Vaporium, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. I've seen this. This came out like 2 years ago on Switch. It's like a first-person dungeon crawler thing. It
Oh.
looks pretty cool.
Nice.
Now it's on consoles. Hunt Sneak.
Hunt and sneak.
You know, like pick and pay.
No one says pick and pay.
I mean,
Except you.
you live the way you life you want to, man.
Pick and pay.
Welcome to Pick and Pay.
No, I'm never going to not see it like that.
Pick and Pay.
I'm going to tell Let's hey, we need
It's
to
like
we
you
need
really want to say the I, but it's stuck. You're like,
let's pick up some groceries at a pick and pay.
please do that.
She'd be like, why are you like this?
Why'd I marry you, God?
Oh my god, what's it? It's not too late for an annulment.
Sneak. I don't know what it is.
Wow.
Jet X, Rift and Vive.
Okay.
Oh, there's a game coming up for you soon. Shadowgate, PS4, Xbox on Switch.
And
Back to Bed.
Oh yeah.
Switch.
Back to bed. I mean,
I
that
need
is
to
the
see what this
perfect
is.
Switch game.
Back
You
to
play back to bed in bed on your Switch.
Back
Back
to
to
Bed.
bed. Wow, that's
Video
a.
game.
Read us the
Wow,
premise
this has
there.
got some like real. What is that artist? I don't know.
Wow, that's Monument Valley.
Yeah, but it's also got this like contemporary art vibe. Like this looks like a piece of art. Like
Yeah,
from some. If Lance goes here, should know.
should know.
Should know.
She's educated, unlike us too.
Us, yeah.
Wait,
So what is
wait.
it? Guide Bob the sleepwalker to safety of his bed by taking control of his subconscious guardian.
Is this a remake of a game?
I don't know. It looks pretty old.
Because that
Yeah.
really rings a bell. Wait, no. The game I'm thinking of, I think, was 2D back in the day, and I can't remember what it's called, but it's something along the lines of sleepwalking and guiding someone back to bed as well.
This is the painting I'm thinking of. You see the melting clock? What? Okay, no. Melting clock. Not tattoo. Not
I just realized that no one heard my eye because I was not talking to the mic.
Salvador Dali. That's
Oh.
yeah. It looks like a Salvador Dali.
We are so
painting.
uncultured.
Yeah, I know. I say his name like I know who he is. I just know Salvador Dali. Yes.
Leonardo da Vinci, yes. Yes.
You mean that character from Assassin's Creed
Yeah,
2?
it's from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah,
What?
Leonardo.
Oh, fuck me. I was like, no ways. Did he make a cameo there as well? He's
my gosh,
the
what's
original
going
creator of the Hidden Blade.
Leonardo da
Line.
Vinci.
Da Vinci, yeah. He gave you 2 blades in Assassin's Creed 2. What a
Wow.
dope man. And he fucked with you. He's like, hey,
Fact.
we're gonna need to cut off your finger. And Ezio's like,
Fact.
cool, let's do it. He's like, nah, just fucking
Kidding,
with you.
man.
Yeah.
No. Actual facts. Is that it? For...
No.
Oh, no.
Axiom Soccer, early access. Weedcraft Inc. PC. Want to grow your weed empire?
Hashtag 420.
Yeah, it's Snoop Dogg's favorite game.
It's actually made by Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
Probably.
Prose, as in PROZ. Not prose as in like poem.
Wait, where is that?
Prose. Prosy.
Prosy.
Enlightenment.
Ah.
Rift and Vive.
Fascinating.
Earth Defense Force, which is weird because I thought one just came out. Iron Rain. Those are those weird like hunting
Anime
big bug
games?
games. Yeah.
Okay. Monster Hunter clone,
Weird.
maybe?
Yeah. No. Yeah, they're weird. Yeah. Deck of Ashes, Steam Early Access.
Wow,
I think
that
that's
sounds
a card
morbid.
Game. Yeah. Deck of Ashes.
Really? Or
Burn your card.
it's a game about being on a ship. And the deck is full of ashes.
Yeah, good point. Actually, good point. Yeah, good point. Hymno for PC. This actually, I looked at this the other day. It looks pretty cool.
Hymno.
Yeah.
How do you spell that? HYMNO or
HIMNO.
Hymno.
Hymno. Hymno is a peaceful 2D platformer game with an infinite number of beautifully procedurally generated maps, which is fucking crazy for a platformer.
Yeah.
Take a breath and relax. So this will live and die in its procedural generation because, like, yeah. But it's cool. It's like you're all in the dark. It's got this neon aesthetic. Looks
Looks
cool.
neat.
Looks cool. And the last game is Hacksaw.
Oh, wait.
H-A-H-O-R.
I know. It's a game about hacking. Hacksaw on Steam.
Guide Kia. No, wait. Retropix. Whoa, this is pretty
Wow,
cool,
that is
actually.
retro.
It almost looks like a Metroid.
Yeah. That is super retro, though.
Retro pixels are back. Good old 80s, 90s style is back. Okay. Enjoy a classic 2D platform with old era graphics, 16 by 16 pixel sprites, and ambient flat chip tuned 8-bit music. Wow, that was a long sentence.
Okay.
Guide Kia, the last survivor from Hacksaw Planet, through the world of vicious creatures, deadly traps, and giant bosses. This looks like a Metroid.
It's Metroid,
game.
yeah. Yeah, even the jump.
Looks pretty cool. This doesn't look 8-bit at all.
No.
This looks too high.
And more, yeah,
definition
it's
for
like
8-bit.
16 bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks 16-bit, more than 8. Looks pretty cool.
I mean, we're experts.
Hacksaw.
I know the difference between 8 and 16 bit just on sites.
Totally. Celeste is on Steam and it's on sale. You should buy
How
it.
much is it?
140 rand.
That is worth it. Go buy it.
Worth it, yeah. Jesus.
Celeste. I mean, look at that art.
Yeah, so good. Get the soundtrack.
Wow,
Okay.
how much is the soundtrack?
Actually, don't know.
Should we bounce to before I bore everyone with...
Wow, could you stop yawning?
I
please?
can't help it. I haven't gotten up early for a long time.
Lena Rain. Yeah, so I'm just looking here. She's made a lot of soundtracks, but I think Celeste is the first game one.
Oh boy, that's so good.
Yeah.
So much of good. Okay.
Oh, and there's even, the B-sides is where they do the remixes. News.
Yes. Let us do the
Gomez
news.
So I think the big one that we never got to chat about because you weren't here is Borderlands 3. That
Was
should
announced.
exist. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was.
Was announced in the weirdest panel ever.
It was
It's like Randy Pitchford doing magic.
Was he actually doing? Oh my
Yeah, it's very weird.
Randy, why you like that?
Very weird considering all the allegations
Yeah,
against
seems
him
a
as
bit,
well.
a bit.
Yeah.
What's the word?
And they spent like an hour
don't know.
like, oh, we're bringing Bulletstorm to Switch or something. We're remastering the other Borderlands. And then at the end, it's like, yeah, we know there's Borderlands 3. Here's a 2-minute trailer that I thought was pretty boring.
It was okay.
It was fine. Like, it was fine. It was
Yeah.
just like, ugh. The trailer that came after that, there was one that came out this week, was a lot better.
It was a much better, yeah.
Much, much better one. The only thing I liked about it, that original trailer, was guns with legs. I thought that was
Like that, it's funny,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's pretty funny.
I don't know though. But, I mean, I think you and I have both spoken about this at length about how we love Borderlands, but it was great 8 years. When did it come out? Like 6 to 8 years ago. I don't know.
Well, Borderlands 2 was
It's
2012.
yeah.
7 years ago.
Okay, so it's like
Before new consoles came out.
yeah, those games have aged.
Yeah.
I mean, you said you played Borderlands 2, like you feel it's
Yeah, like
humans
I'm trying to
aged
play through it again just to I kind of want to see what that 4K thing looks like. And
Yeah.
now that I have a PC that can run like stupidly high settings, I'm just like, oh, cool.
Oh, that's nice,
shooter.
yeah.
And it's like, it's fine.
Yeah.
The shooting doesn't feel that great anymore.
Yeah.
Like shooters have come a long way in this generation alone. Just in terms of like how they feel, like Borderlands just doesn't feel that good again.
So Borderlands 3 is announced now, and they're saying like new worlds, new characters, new guns. I'm like, that's fine, but visually it's still that cel shaded look, which is fine. I've no issue with
Cell
that.
shade is cool.
But like mechanically, I don't know. I really hope it evolves.
Yeah.
It really has to evolve.
That's where
because-
for me it has to evolve, because like the thing that's bugging me about Borderlands 2 replaying it again is like these skill trees are fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Like,
no, they really are. And
The
it's,
skills you have aren't that impactful.
no,
or-
it's. I mean, the stuff you get, you level up, and it's like you put 1 point in. It's like every ability you get, it's 0 or 5. And you have to sit and put 5 points in it for it to be like its most effective, and it's mostly passive stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing. A
So-
lot of it's passive, so it's like you're buffing up like health or damage or
Yeah.
whatever. It's like it's weird when I play a game like another loot shooter like Destiny, and like I've got 3 different subclasses that I can switch between at will, and like they contain different supers, and they change my grenades, and they change my melee. They do a lot of things. Like there's a lot of customization. Whereas Borderlands is like you've got your class skill,
And that's
and
that.
that's it. pretty
Like
much.
in Borderlands Defense, a lot of the class skills feel good, but when you look at it now, I mean, let's
just
say
old. It's
the Siren from Borderlands 2, the ability is great. That
the phase lock
the
thing.
phase
Yeah, it's
lock, I'm
pretty
like,
good.
that's cool.
It's pretty good.
But it would be cool if you could do more with the character. I mean, they've got such cool characters. You could, I mean, I say you could very easily. I don't know in reality if it's easy to do that, but I imagine it can't be too difficult to, I don't know, make it more like Overwatch, if I could say that. You have your passives, have like 1 or 2 or 3 abilities, and then allow your leveling up to sit and tailor those to how you want it to be.
Yeah, I think so.
That's what I
Yeah.
hope it is. We don't know. Visually, honestly, I mean, and we've spoken about this, Borderlands 2 is in my top 10 games of all time. I love the franchise, but even I watched the trailer, I was like, yeah, it looks more of the same, which I don't know if it's enough.
And that's the thing. Like a lot of people, like there was like weird sentiment because I know who was it?
There
It
are a
was
couple of people.
I think it was Polygon who was like, this trailer was pretty uninteresting. I was like, yep. And a lot of people were like, well, it looks like more of the same, so that's pretty great. I'm like,
No.
that's fine, but have you played the games recently?
Yeah.
Like they've aged. Like they need to catch up. It's not like suddenly like I'm saying Borderlands 2 is a bad game.
No, not
I
at all.
fucking love it. I've put in like 200 hours into that
Yeah.
game. I really like that game. But it just feels out of date now.
Now, yeah.
So if Borderlands 3 is the same stuff, that's a bit worrying.
Yeah.
But I know they have announced some things like there's going to be crafting, which
Oh, yeah?
I think is very
That's
clever.
interesting, yeah.
Because like you have all these parts that are used in the procedural generation of these guns, so why not open that up to players?
2 players, yeah.
So that seems pretty cool. I'm kind of bummed that it seems that it's just for protagonists again.
I was also a bit like,
Because it's like, you can't create, like, I find that in these shooters now, like loot shooters, the whole idea is like building a character that you can be proud of to show off. Like in Destiny, it's like, oh, I've got all this armor and this and that and my weapons. And I'm not, even though I'm subscribing to a class, my class of hunter can be fundamentally different to yours.
Yeah.
Here it's just like 4 characters.
that's it, yeah.
So maybe there'll be cool customization options. I don't know. But if it's like the color shaders like from 2, it's like
Yeah. Part of me felt that when they announced Borderlands 3, it would be that lets you design your own character. I don't know how to work, but actually, when I think about it, it would work fine because your characters are silent protagonists in all the games. You don't,
yeah, but it's weird they come back. though.
they come back, but
That's where it's strange, yeah. Because
Yeah,
like,
I don't
in
know.
this game, you already see Maya from Borderlands 2 hanging out with Lilith.
yeah.
And you see like Brick, and I know in Borderlands 2 you
Saw Brick on a saxophone. Let's be
saxophone,
clear.
playing
That
Careless
is,
Whisper.
yeah. what?
like in Borderlands 2, you basically ran into the main cast of the first game,
yeah.
which I was like, okay, that's cool, but these characters were silent protagonists in 1. What makes you think they're compelling in 2?
Yeah.
You know, if that's their reasoning for like not allowing character creation. So I don't know. The 4 new characters, again, I can't. They look like the same classes.
They really do. You've got a Saro and you've got like a turret expert. I think.
So it's just like, come on, man. Like even in 2 already, I was like, was it Axiom? Who was the turret
ninja?
guy?
I can't remember his name.
Yeah,
I don't know who you're talking about.
He was basically like the same guy as the one in 1.
Yeah, he was like Roland from 1.
Yeah, and
the
then
turret.
Gunzerker was like Brick, who instead
had-
of
he
punching stuff had
dual-wielded,
dual wield guns. And then Maya and Lilith. Okay, Lilith and Maya's powers are very different.
Yeah.
And then this is why I chose either Maya or Zero, because they were the only 2 characters I was like, I didn't play you in the first
In the first one, yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. The Siren looks pretty cool with her like
8 arms,
that can-
whatever it
pretty cool.
is.
The thing that really, really excites me about Borderlands 3 though is being able to go to different planets.
Yeah, that's
Apparently
cool.
you go on like a mothership and you can travel at will to different planets, and like the visual variety is
That's
super
cool.
welcome because like Borderlands was always on Pandora and Pandora was like deserty.
Yeah.
So I think there was a one shot in the initial trailer where you're in like this
a
crazy
massive
city.
Yeah,
it looks
that's
so cool. So
That's cool. Like that's a welcome change.
Yeah, because there were levels in Borderlands 2 where you were in like Hyperion cities. I was like, this is pretty
That's
rad.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, again, the game's out in September, which is surprising.
I just want to see like actual mechanics now
Yeah.
and stuff.
I want to
'Cause
see how they've altered it.
Yeah. Because the trailer, it looks the same. And again, like it's not a bad thing, but when you think like just the same doesn't really cut it when
No,
you've got
like,
such
it
great games coming
It
out.
can be the same, but it needs to also like
evolve.
evolve. Yeah, that's the thing. It needs to be, it needs to feel fresh again.
Yeah.
Like Borderlands, you could argue found success because it was like, hey, you like Diablo? What about even a first-person
With
shooter? It's
guns.
like, holy fuck, no one's ever done
no
this
one's
before.
done that.
Like Destiny is built off some of the frameworks that Borderlands introduced. So for it to not evolve would be a crime, like to just that franchise, because that franchise has been innovative. So yeah.
So we'll see.
That cover art is spectacular. It is
good.
so good.
It's really good.
So good. I really like the cover art.
Borderlands 3. Look, I know we sound skeptical, but I'm like cautiously optimistic
Yeah,
because
it's the
I
thing.
really want a good Borderlands 3.
Yeah, I want a really good Borderlands 3, but I've also, between now and when Borderlands 2 released, Gearbox has been shaky as well. So I'm also like, a lot of the people who made Borderlands 2 special aren't there anymore. And since then, they did like Aliens Colonial Marines, which was terrible. They did,
Wait, did that come after Borderlands 2?
it might have come just before. Hold on.
Alien.
Colonial Marines.
That'll be a man. Yo.
Yeah, it came after. A year after.
What?
Yeah. And then they did Battleborn, which didn't work out so well.
Yeah.
So yeah, Gearbox has not been the most to be honest, like Borderlands is really the only property that
Yeah.
I feel have hit like in the past like decade. So yeah, it could go either way.
We'll see.
God of War won more awards at the BAFTAs.
Shocked.
Very cool.
It's like the game's great or something.
The big thing that I like about the BAFTAs is that Florence won Best Mobile Game.
Yep.
And Mountain Games 100% deserves that.
So much of good.
Some other quick ones. Return of the Obra Dinn won a bit. Yoku's Island Express, that Metroidvania pinball game, won
Oh, yeah?
Best Debut Game. Pretty good.
Oh.
Florence won Best Mobile Game. Artistic Achievement, Obra Dinn. Game Innovation, Nintendo Labo over Obra Dinn. Don't know if I agree with that.
Cardboard.
Game design, cardboard.
Yeah.
It is innovative. Like Jeremy Davis as the stranger in God of War, best performer. All the 4 out of the 6 nominees are all from God of War. So Atreus, Freya, Kratos, and the stranger all got nominated. Not
Jeremy Davies as he's what's his name? I can't remember now his actual name.
Jeremy Davis.
Oh, that dude, yeah.
He was the bassist for the rock band Paramore.
What? What is going on? Is this the same Jeremy Davis?
Yeah, this might not be the same Jeremy Davis.
It's like,
I
where's
don't think it's
no,
the
it's
same
not.
Jeremy Davis.
Shit,
like,
that
what?
would have
There's
been like
no way.
the best coincidence ever. Like, yeah, award-winning voice actor also basis for for Paramore.
So weird.
God of War video game.
Did I? No, I didn't spell his name wrong. So who is this dude?
Jeremy.
Okay, no wait. There's okay, yeah.
There's
Okay, this
Davey.
actually looks like him.
Yeah.
He was in Saving Private Ryan. Then he was in
What?
Lost and Justified. Let's see his filmography quickly. Saving Private Ryan. He's been in a lot of series like Lost. Oh, he was in Hannibal. Constantine, American Gods, The Flash. Oh, he's Dr. John Deegan in an episode of like a crossover between Flash, Arrow, and whatever.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's in God of War. He's not the bassist of Paramore.
Let's just nip that rumor in the bud, right?
Yeah, just right here. Bethesda, they broke their promise about Fallout 76.
Oh no.
Remember when they said the item
no.
store would be cosmetics only?
No.
So they've added repair kits to the store so you can spend money on repair kits, which is fine
But-
to repair your weapons, but like, yeah, it goes against what they're
But
saying.
Bethesda, why?
They're just finding ways to monetize this game.
Fallout 76. What a great time.
Wow, yeah, there was some BioWare news this
Was there?
Um,
I've been like completely out of the loop.
Yeah, so you're a good fan of Jason Schreier's book Blood, Sweat, and Pixels.
Yes.
He-
Oh wait, he did an article.
An on the troubles around Anthem and BioWare that is basically as long as a chapter of his book. It is a massive read. It is a compelling read.
I started reading it. I just haven't finished it.
Yeah, 100% advise everyone to read it because a summary does not do it justice. But essentially, BioWare is in a weird place. They've been in a weird place ever since Dragon Age Inquisition, where employees at the studio really wished the game had failed because it would be a red flag to management that something wasn't right.
Yeah. Shit, eh?
And BioWare has been relying on what they call internally BioWare magic to bring games together, just like this like nebulous
Actual magic.
Yeah, this nebulous feeling that no matter how badly they fuck up, it will coalesce at
No.
the end and just make it right.
No.
And that didn't happen for Andromeda, and it very much didn't happen for Anthem.
Yeah.
And basically in the article, the whole of Anthem was built in like 18 months. Like they were in pre-production for
insane.
5 years, and
That is insane.
a lot of the devs didn't even really know what the game was until they saw the game reveal at E3 2017.
Can we just stop
Yeah.
and imagine? Let that sink in. You working on this project and you don't even know what it's like.
Yeah.
Until you see it debut to the wall, it's like,
Oh, now I know what you're
okay.
building. Yeah.
That's ambitious. Like, what is
Apparently,
that?
when they revealed that, there wasn't a single mission in the game. A lot of that stuff was faked. So this is a good point where, because we have our good pal Craig, who loves to purchase games, and he basically pre-ordered Anthem based on that demo. This is a good reminder that E3 demos are smoke and mirrors,
Yeah.
and you should always be skeptical of
wait.
them. That Anthem that you saw there did not exist. Like, literally did not exist.
That's insane. I actually want to go back and watch it now. Like,
I watched it and it's like, whoa. It's like all these weird things that like I criticized about Anthem, like you pick up gear and you can look at and equip the gear immediately there. There's a seamless transition between missions, whereas in Anthem now you have to go back to the fort, choose a new mission, come back.
Yeah.
It's a mess. Like BioWare's in a bad space. Very, very bad space. And their director, Casey Hudson, basically responded to this Kotaku article saying that they recognize some of the issues and that they need to be better about looking at them. So whether they do that, who knows?
Oh, damn. Interesting times.
What else? Oh yeah, people are having a tantrum over Borderlands 3 being an Epic exclusive for 6 months. So they review bombing it on Steam, which is a good way to signal to publishers that they should support the platform that they're clearly not supporting. Fucking trash their games on their platform.
Yeah.
Good job.
Oh god. But okay, so just on Steam side, why are reviews even open for a game that's? Oh wait,
User reviews are trash. No, it's for the older
oh,
games.
it's older games. Okay.
Yeah. User reviews are trash. Absolute trash, because this is what they allow.
Yeah.
I don't really understand the discourse over this Epic Store thing. I understand that the Epic Store is missing a lot of features still,
Yeah.
but it's giving a bigger cut to developers. From what I've gleaned, Epic is paying a lot of these publishers a lot of money to make them exclusive. So especially with smaller devs, it's a bit of a cushion that Steam wouldn't. And because the Epic Store is just starting, discoverability isn't an issue. So for smaller games, it's far more compelling
really
than
good,
Steam.
yeah.
Steam needs to wake up.
But even that aside, as PC players, what is the big issue with having two different launchers?
Yeah, people seem really bugged by the idea that Epic is owned by Tencent, and then even more bugged that when they realize that Tencent owns shares in a lot of big game companies.
Yeah.
So there's this really weird alarmist, like, oh, we can't let one corporation take over gaming. It's like, that's not happening.
That's not how it's working.
That this is a free market. This is how free markets work with publicly traded companies. So also, it's super weird that people are really mad over games getting exclusives on Epic when this was essentially Steam for the past decade.
Yeah.
How many games just came to Steam and not GOG, not Humble, not anywhere else? No one had a fucking problem with it.
No. Steam elitists.
Yeah, I don't get it. It's shitty that you have to have another launcher, but the Epic Store is pretty good. You get a free game every 2 weeks.
But we've spoken about this plenty, where it's like, yeah, it's an inconvenience. Maybe it would have been like 5 years ago when internet speeds were trash, and you open a launch and it's like, oh, I have to update this game. And I know this is a sweeping generalization because not everyone's on fiber, but I'm speaking South Africa. Worldwide, though, internet speed's not at all an issue. You open up your game like, oh man, I've got to update this. It'll take like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's really not the end of the world.
And I've had some pretty good experiences with the Epic Store. Like, I bought some games when it launched, and I got a refund of like a handful, like $10, $15 on some, because when they started implementing regional pricing, they were like, hey, you paid too much for this. Yeah. And they gave me a refund. I was like, fuck. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I honestly have no problem with Epic Store, and I understand that for there to be any viable competition to Steam, they need to do stuff like this. They can't come out and play by Steam's rules because they'll end up being another GOG and another Humble. So, yeah, whatever, man. It's coming to Steam eventually as well. So if you feel very strongly about it, you
Just
can
wait 6 months.
Yeah, I feel no sympathy because, like you said, it's another launcher. If it was like, this only runs on NVIDIA cards, it'd be like, okay, whoa.
Calm down.
Yeah.
You can only run this copy on a separate PC.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Stuff like that. Like,
yeah.
This is giving consumers more options. It's good.
Yeah.
Anyone who calls us anti-consumer does not understand how it works, because they're essentially saying that Steam not having a monopoly is anti-consumer. What the fuck are you talking about?
What is life?
Borderlands 3. Oh yeah, Apex went through a pretty harrowing 3 hours where players' like progression was being reset to level 1.
I know.
But they fixed it pretty promptly. So
That's
it
hilarious,
seems like everyone who lost out got all their progress back. Starlink, that Toys to Life game that Ubisoft brought out.
Yep. Not doing
Guess
so
what?
well.
Didn't do well. Shocker.
Goddamn.
Yeah, so they're still making content for it, but they've basically said that physical toys are done. They're not producing anymore.
Look, I like the idea of it. I thought it was pretty neat, but in terms of collectibles, it's the same as that whole what's it called, Skylanders, Disney Infinity.
Yeah, they've all gone away. Like, it seemed like Ubisoft got to this party really
very
late.
Yeah.
And just like we're like, oh, it's actually fucked. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
I don't know why some of these are tagged gaming. Like
Avengers Endgame?
Yeah. I've found like 3 news stories that are part of gaming.
Jeff, please fix your website.
Best Buy getting back in the leak game. Yeah.
Ah, yes.
So they leaked Persona 5 for Switch, which
really?
lines up with Jesus, man, Atlas has been milking these teasers. I think that this is like their 3rd consecutive tease for something. But there's Persona 5R or Royal, which is something for PS4 that they'll talk about later this month. And then they're teasing something called Persona 5S, which is coming later this month. So
it's
Persona 5 Switch.
It's like the iPhone S, man. It's
Yeah.
just Persona 5, but better, not on Switch.
It'll be really shitty if they release Persona 5 Royal, which seems to have a new character
On PlayStation.
on PlayStation, and then like the vanilla one on Switch. Like, Because they did this when they released Persona 4 on PS Vita. They called it Golden, and it had a whole new social link, which is like a character that can be added to a party. So that adds a lot to the story. Along with this, they also leaked the much leaked already Metroid Prime trilogy.
What?
And then also another Zelda, Link to the Past on
Hmm.
Switch, which is the SNES game, if you don't know. Really good SNES game,
Link to the Past.
but weird.
Is that the second one? A Link? No, I'm thinking
It's the SNES game that is like the blueprint for most Zelda games after it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very good.
Hot damn.
But then I've also seen rumors that like Wind Waker is coming to Switch.
Wait, which is the Zelda they announced the last Direct? That is a remake of another one.
Oh, that was Link's Awakening.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then they announced a motherfucking crossover with Crypto the Necrodancer.
You're like, what?
Dude, that game looks so good.
Hot damn.
Oh, so excited for that.
Oh, man. Jeez, like, that's a lot of Borderlands 3 news.
Yeah, geez, it's too much.
Mortal Kombat 11.
Darren has bad opinions about Arkham Knight's Batmobile, saying it's the best. What? Still one of the best and most underrated moments of genius in gaming.
What?
I 100% disagree with that, but
Yeah, I can't comment because I haven't played Arkham Knight yet.
man, Darren, you're free to your opinions, but man, Jesus.
Is Arkham Knight worth it? I still have to play it.
Arkham Knight's a really good game, but that, again, another fucking movie story in the gaming. Why is this here?
Another Borderlands 3 story.
Oh my goodness. PlayStation Store's refund policy changed. So they stopped selling codes for games on like retailer stores, so you can't go to Amazon and buy a digital version of a game. And I think this is probably why they changed their refund policy. So if you purchase a game and don't download it within the first 14 days of purchasing it, you can get a full refund. No questions asked.
That's Craig. That's perfect for you. You can
Yeah.
pre-order your games.
But you can't download, unlike Steam. Like Steam is like, hey, you can download it as long as you play less than 2 hours.
Yeah, then send it back.
Yeah, but not downloading it. Like if you've got auto downloads on, you fucked, son.
Damn it.
Yeah. So, but that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think that's it.
Is that it? Is that the news? Whoa.
The
Grandma Gaming.
The grandma who streams a lot of Skyrim. She's going to be an NPC in Elder Scrolls 6, which is pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Oh my god, that is a lot of Mortal Kombat 11 and Borderlands 2
Destiny 3
news.
rumors, meh.
Days gone.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Let's get to questions.
Days gone.
This is your beat.
Questions.
son.
We have so much of questions. Where do I even
Ooh.
begin? Okay, let's start over on Twitter. Wait, that's my
What's our
Twitter.
time on? 1 hour 12. We're doing it.
Oh
We're
my
doing
god,
it.
we're doing so well. Okay. We have 4,000 million questions from Migs.
Sup, Minx?
He's like, yeah, I missed you guys. You're back. Okay, number one.
Sorry, I just had a
This
big
is-
yawn there. It was
That's
really
fine.
good.
This is what we were talking about earlier. What he says, what do you guys think of the Sekiro easy mode conversation happening in the US? I don't think that's in the US. I think
Oh man, there's
that's
just
worldwide.
it's been Twitter discourse
Yeah.
for the whole week. So
So wait, this is us touching on. Remember, we mentioned Celeste earlier. There's accessibility options.
yeah, so I don't want to spend like we could spend like an
hours.
hour talking about this. I think the discourse is pretty. It's like folded in on itself where we just back it where we started now. I would advise anyone on Twitter to follow Steven
Spielberg.
Spahn? No, yes. Steven Spahn, he runs an organization called Able Gamers, and they were the ones that helped out Microsoft with designing that accessible controller.
called? I've gone blank
fuck,
now.
man. It's the PlayStation.
It's the adaptive controller.
Yeah,
but,
adaptive controller.
Is it
that's
just called
yeah,
adaptive controller?
Yeah, adaptive
Okay.
controller. So they helped out with that because they are all about
Accessibility.
like teaching studios and game developers and stuff about accessibility options and how they can be implemented in games and stuff like that. So that's one side of the argument is like Sekiro should have options to allow people to play it who have accessibility concerns because Sekiro and From Games and a lot of difficult games all rely on really fine timing and very fast reflexes that some people physically might not be able to pull off. So they cannot play the game.
Yeah.
Like, physically cannot play the game. Which sucks because you played Bloodborne recently. Like, would you say that the only compelling part of a From Software game is its challenge?
No, I mean, I love the world. I mean, the combat and the world and a whole lot of other stuff. It's important. It's not just the difficulty that makes the game.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite parts of a From Software game specifically is just its world design, like how levels fold in on each other and how they're so like unique. Like Bloodborne's gothic nature is really cool.
Look, for me, Bloodborne and difficulty is a big thing, and I enjoy it. But I'm not going to take it away from other people. Like, how dare you not enjoy the difficulty? Because some gamers just, like you said, physically can't. Some people don't have or want to spend hour upon hour learning how to play a difficult game.
So yeah, this is the thing. It's just like I 100% agree with you that difficulty is. Why did my laptop stop charging? Sorry. I'm trying to figure it out because I'm like, did the power trip? And if the power tripped, are we still recording?
We're still recording. Your keyboard's on.
Yeah, keyboard's still on. Difficulty is central to From Software games, I think, because I think their combat, if it was easy, wouldn't be as exciting. But at the same time, it's not for me to sit here and say, well, that's the only way it can be done.
Yeah.
I think in the case of Bloodborne and Dark Souls, there's always been a crutch where you can really grind through those games and run through the same areas over and over and level your character up because it fundamentally like an RPG. You can boost up stats. Sekiro doesn't have any of that.
Yeah?
If you don't get good at the game, you can't get better because you're not like upgrading like damage or whatever. It's all about. So already Sekiro is like playing on a different field where it's like your hours of investment have to be learning the game to get better. And if you physically cannot get better, whether it be through accessibility concerns or like you just banging your head against the same boss for like 10 hours and you just cannot get it.
Yeah.
Like there is no avenue for you to find help.
Yeah.
Like in Bloodborne, there was like the summoning bell, so you could summon someone in to help you out, or you could go ground out blood vials. Blood vials, which were so strictly and stringent at the beginning of the game that people complained.
Yeah.
People complained about a From game. And From made a change to make it easier to stockpile. So they made the game easier.
Yeah.
This is not like... It's not
a thing.
Otherworldly because people come here arguing, saying, you can't compromise on art. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, people always... Like, game developers always tweak their games because, like, their vision sometimes doesn't coalesce with the way players are playing it. Like, these people aren't machines. The game developers make mistakes and alter their works all the time. What the fuck are you talking about? So that's like the one side of the argument. And like most of the time I've just seen people say they get really defensive about this idea that it is a privilege and a achievement to finish a From Software game. And it is.
It is, yeah.
Like, it feels good. It feels fucking good. And Miyazaki, who's the designer, like the lead designer on these, that's his core, like, principles. Like, he wants to create instances where there is great satisfaction in overcoming challenge. He's not making difficult games. He's making games that challenge you in a way that you feel really good once you've completed them. And, like, you played Bloodborne, I played Bloodborne. That's just... It's how I feel. Like, but at the same time, I don't think it's... As a player, I don't think it's my right to say this is the only way the game should be played. Some people have time concerns. They don't have the time to spend hours and hours in these games. In the case of Sekiro, like some people just cannot get as good as they are. The game requires them to be. And then accessibility concerns. Some people physically cannot play these games the way they're designed.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying From has to implement something to change this because no developer has to do anything. Yeah. But I also think they aren't free of the criticism where people say, they could do something. You could
do it, yeah.
And we were talking about Celeste. Celeste is a hard as hell game.
It is very hard.
It's designed to be difficult.
Hard,
but Matt Thorson was like, we've created a really good, compelling story. Who are we to say that you can't see it if you can't get good at the game?
Yeah.
So he gives and he frames it as accessibility options because the game doesn't have alternate difficulties. It's just like you can turn on infinite dashes or you can turn on invincibility. And you can do it on a per stage basis. So if one stage is really just fucking with you, you can
just put it on.
fuck this, go through it, carry on, or play the game. He basically gives you the tools to play as you want.
Yeah.
And has that inclusion made Celeste feel any lesser
No,
as a piece of art?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I still think it's one of the best games that came out last year. I still think it's hard as hell because that's how I choose to play it.
Yeah.
And I don't look down on people who choose not to play it that way.
Like, God forbid you want more
God
dashes
forbid you want
or anything.
to experience this phenomenal story that I want people to experience because it's phenomenal. God forbid you did it in a different way to me. You know, like, God forbid you explored Yharnam because it's got creepy, weird like demons on the walls and shit like that, and a really great, fascinating story. Like, God forbid you did it, but didn't die 50 times to Bloodstarved Beast like I did. You know, like,
God, that boss.
I don't give a shit. Like, I don't care. Like,
I mean, I don't know. The only thing that comes to mind is like trophy progression. But like that's like really a simple, like, okay, if you're playing the game on a low, inverted commas, lower difficulty, then maybe like you exclude it, you disable from trophies.
Whatever.
But otherwise, and then I've also seen the argument like, no, if you change, like, how would you make Sekiro easier?
Yeah, and
like,
I think that's a fair criticism.
And I get that, but then it's like, I don't know, Celeste gave you several options. I very much think that Sekiro could have the same thing, like give your character more health.
Yeah.
Give the bosses less health. Slow the game down 10, 20%. Like, there are a few things you could maybe include there.
I think that's where people get hung up is like, and this is the part where I can see From Software's argument, sort of. Because their argument always used to be like, these are hard games, you know what I mean? This is what they are. The game does not work without difficulty. And I used to subscribe to that thought. I wrote an article about a year ago where I said this exact thing. I'm like, Dark Souls would not be the same game without its difficulty. And I still think that.
Yeah.
But I don't think anymore that it has to only be that way. I don't know how Sekiro will be made easier. And that's probably a difficult design thing. But I also think, like, people are talking about as if From Software are dumb. They're like, how would From Software design an easy mode? It's like, you are holding up this developer so high because they create these amazing, combat intense, difficult scenarios, but you can't fathom how they could maybe think about a solution. Like, you can't have those two can't exist in the same space. You can't call them dumb. You can't say, oh, they are incapable of making an easy mode, but they're also capable of making some of the best games ever created. Like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't want to, and that's their prerogative.
That's fine, yeah.
But people can call them out and say, it's kind of shitty that I can't play this game because, I can't get past this. Like, I feel bad for a lot of people who want to see Sekiro's beautiful Japanese world
but they
can't get past the first boss.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, sorry for
that's
you.
a pity. Yeah. And again, this is the response of people they're saying, this game's not for you then. It's like, that's so elitist and gatekeepery. And it's like,
cool.
Who cares? Why do you care? Why do you care so much? Like, I don't know. There's a modern PC that allows you to reduce the speed of enemies. So you can maybe take them down by 10%. So it makes your parry window a lot wider.
A lot bigger, yeah.
Yeah, and that's actually Matt Dawson, designer of Celeste, went on Twitter and gave some suggestions. He's like, if I was designing Sekiro here, I'd make it more accessible.
Yeah.
He'd make your respawns infinite if you want to turn it on. He'd give you sliders to adjust game speed, stuff like that. Like,
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
I don't think it's that difficult.
It's not impossible.
No, not at all.
Like, yes, it's going to break the core Sekiro experience, but
Not at all.
hey, it's not. If you want to play the core experience, it's not. You played like that. We're not taking it away from you.
Imagine every game you played only had the difficulty that the developers intended.
Yeah,
like, holy crap.
But I think this is where people are failing. This is a sweeping generalization, but they're failing to make the understanding that it's like, I don't know, moving forward, it's almost like there's a worry that, oh no, From are going to make the next game easier because they want to cater to a wider audience. But it's like, no, they can make the game just as hard as they want, but there's no harm in making it accessible to more people. Like that I don't understand. If you want to play it hard, I mean, like Celeste, we're playing it on hard, and I tell you, I beat my head against that airplane window many times. I was like, God damn, this game is hard.
I think on the win stage I died like 250 times.
Yeah.
Like,
but you know what? I could hand it over to Lenska and she'd be like, this game's really hard. I'm going to put on these settings and, okay, I can suddenly play this game. No harm. Doesn't take away from my experience. In fact, it made me happy. I'm like, oh, hey, my wife can now play this game, which she couldn't really play before. So
it's exactly the same. If I had to give it to Shani, like, I'm like, I really want you to see this game because the story is impactful and powerful.
Yeah.
Like, her not being huge into games would never be able to play that game without those options, like, at all. So does that mean she's undeserving of experiencing the story? Like, fuck off.
No, that's
if that is your philosophy on games, you are the reason fewer people play games because you believe you belong to this special club because you have this quote unquote ability to play.
Yeah.
And people compare it to like learning languages. I've seen some people say like, well, I don't know Chinese, so it's hard to learn. Oh, Chinese is wrong because that doesn't exist, Mandarin or whatever. So it's hard. It's like, that's really different. That's really different because there's no, like, if you're saying that, then you're saying there should be only one method of learning that language. But there's so many different ways to try and make it easier.
Yeah.
Like, would you not take the easiest way to learn a language over the hardest?
Yeah.
Yes.
You take the easier way.
So how is this any different?
I don't know, man.
I don't understand. It fucking blows my mind.
It's an interesting discussion.
I understand that there's good discussion in like how this would be done from a design perspective and how it would impact from the vision of the game. But if you're going, people just need to get good, or this game isn't for everyone, or not everyone deserves, because I've seen this, to play this game, get out of here. Like, I have no space to argue with you. Yeah, I don't get it. Anyway,
I don't know.
That's our take.
Next question. Yeah. We need to spend an hour talking on that.
Follow Steven Spon on Twitter because he makes really good, compelling arguments. Daniel Dwight from No Clip released a small 15-minute video, which was really good about this. Game Maker's Toolkit from British Gamer, who does a lot of... He like gives talks to studios and design students on like how to design better games. He has a really good video from a while ago. It isn't even about Sekiro, about how difficult games can learn from easier games. It's very good.
Go watch that stuff.
Educate yourself.
Educate yourself.
Yeah.
Next question. Matthew, any thoughts on the anti-streamer / video sharer law that is yet to be signed? How would this affect your Twitch ambitions?
Yeah, this happened like as I was leaving for Madeira.
Yeah, there's some... Yeah. No, I don't quite understand the full extent of it, but my basic understanding is that in order to stream or even share a video on like a piece of
social media,
you need to get permission to do it.
It needs to be rated by the FPB,
which is like
absurd,
absolutely ridiculous. But I'm not nearly read up enough on the subject. But what I do plan on doing next week is, I think Grant Hines interviewed Nick Hall, who's like quite...
He's like the lawyer in South Africa keeping everyone in the know.
He's the dude, He's the one who's like, oh, hey, like, just in case you guys don't know, this law is like on the verge of being signed. We need to know, I need you all to know like what it is, how it will impact you. And I think Brett and his team from UFD Tech did a video as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I think they did. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I haven't watched either of them, but I imagine those are two very big South African personalities who rely on those platforms to make a living.
And they break it down pretty well. Yeah. Grant's video was very, very good. Yeah, again, because he had Nick there as well.
Yeah. So I need to watch those two, but I can't really comment other than I think it's shitty. Like, I hope it doesn't happen because...
It's a complete misunderstanding of how the internet works.
Like,
that's just it. Like it would destroy... It's not just in terms of gaming, but it would destroy internet locally because like YouTube... suddenly every video needs to be rated.
And it's like
that's impossible.
Okay, but even if it was a thing of like, okay, we understand why you have to rate everything. Realistically, can one board sit and rate hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people streaming, sharing videos?
And let's remember, this is the board that censored a South African production, was it last year? Because of...
Oh, yeah.
because of depictions of homosexuality within like Zulu culture. Like fuck
Which
off.
is just like ridiculous.
Like, so do you trust an organization who's doing that to now police your internet? No.
Yeah.
And again, it's not even that. It's like it's just not feasible. Like there's no way.
There's no way you would be able to.
And
do
like
it.
you can go, well, according to the current law, if they enforce it, you can go to jail for streaming without getting their approval. So
It's like, I got this new game.
it's a mess.
This game just launched. I want to stream it now because it's content sensitive. It's relevant now.
Put in an application
Hang on,
for
I've
2
got to
months.
wait 3 months before I can actually. So it's a bit.
It will break the internet here fundamentally.
It really would.
And the fact that it keeps getting further and further through the court processes and hasn't been thrown out is quite alarming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you guys stoked on the idea in the near future for us of getting the latest games on a subscription from almost all publishers via Google Stadia?
Stadia.
Does Alessandro even collect physical games anymore?
We never got to speak about Stadia.
No, we were away that week.
And that's a big discussion.
Wait,
Yeah.
didn't we? Was
No.
that not? Did we not talk? No, we didn't.
It happened. It happened
that
before.
week I was away, yeah.
It was like the Tuesday you left or
Yeah.
something like that. So yeah. Again, I don't want to spend like half an hour on this. There's a lot of concerns around that sort of thing in terms of like from a game preservation standpoint.
Yeah.
I mean, game preservation is already very tricky now with the shift to digital. To move it onto a streaming platform where Google has the power to yank whatever they want at any time, it makes preservation pretty difficult. Especially like for third-party games, maybe not so much, but like they are making exclusives. So how do people preserve those games?
Yeah. Download it to a memory stick.
I don't know. I think Stadia is a cool idea, and just like Netflix, if it becomes more convenient than everything else, it will hit. Like Netflix is more convenient than purchasing physical media, and the concession I make with that is I don't get to control my library. But because it's so convenient, it doesn't bother me. Stadia needs to do the same thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think it's exciting because I mean that does seem to be the way things are going.
yeah, I'm excited to give it a go.
If I could pay 150, 200 rand a month and have unlimited access to whatever game I want anywhere on my phone at home. Shit,
Yeah,
I'm not going to say no to that.
Just
but
being like we were traveling now, and I have my laptop with me. If I
Yeah.
could continue playing Devil May Cry or The Division 2 on a fucking browser tab, like yeah, that's awesome.
yeah, that's very cool.
And if it works, cool. If it's not identical to my console and there's a bit of latency, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
They'll, hopefully they'll figure it out. But yeah, that's like unprecedented. That's
And
really cool.
To be honest, I don't collect physical games anymore. In
very
fact, I
rarely do.
steer completely clear
I've
where
got
I can.
a lot of discs in my cupboard, and I just generally, like, I think Bloodborne was on PS Plus a while ago, and Destiny 2 was on PS Plus, and I grabbed them both purely so I don't have to put the disc in my console anymore.
We're lazy.
Yeah, we're lazy. Like,
a convenience
thing. And people are like, oh, but what happens when the servers shut down? It's like, a lot of these games are online anyway. Like, I can't
Yeah.
play Destiny without the servers anyway.
Yeah. I don't know. Okay. Do you guys watch foreign content from Portugal or Brazil, such as novellas, TV series, or even films?
No.
Hard no.
Hard no. I did grow up in a household where that shit was always on. My grandmother always, how the fuck Portugal has like a 5-hour, 6-hour talk show every day? Where do they
Every
find the
single day.
content for that?
I don't know. And every day there's a new band playing, there's a new guest.
They like set up remotely. Like, could you imagine the production team on that? It must be so hard.
I don't know, man.
And it's such bullshit.
I love
all the time.
Portugal camera work though. The
God, it's so
dramatic
bad.
zoom in, zoom outs.
That whole
the
they just
head
got that sound of
bopping.
that woo, woo, woo. They're just like zooming in and out. It's so weird. It's so
Like,
weird.
why are you like this, Portugal?
Yeah. Good lord. It's very funny.
What is your stance on altering single-player games for enjoyment or to attain specific goals, such as a different ending to a game? What? As expected, cheating in multiplayer games is unfair to everyone, but how about in single-player games? I assume Migs means, I suppose, like
Cheating to see like
Yeah.
alternate endings. I don't
I don't have
care.
an issue.
Again, like
I'm not.
you
Phased.
play
I
the way
mean,
you do, man. Like, how is that any different from me playing a game and being like, I don't feel like playing this. I'm going to YouTube the endings.
Yeah,
Same thing.
I mean, and not only that, it's different things for different people. Like growing up, I loved the idea of cheats, like being invulnerable. Like in GTA, I think that's the one. Or even The Sims is a good example. You have infinite money, you build whatever the hell you want.
Amazing how cheats could be like accessibility options.
Get out. But like the way I am now, I don't enjoy doing that because if I were to play The Sims, I'd like to do it the right way, get a job, build my house, get
like
my real life, get my Sims, promoted, that sort of thing.
It's so weird. Rage 2 is coming out and its big pre-order bonus are cheat codes. I'm just like,
okay.
What happened?
But I'm not going to begrudge anyone who plays Sims and cheats. Like, has infinite money to build stuff. Like, I don't care. That's how you want to play the game.
Yeah, play the game you want. Like, I did that all the time.
I'm going to play Sims in hard mode, the way it's meant to be played.
I don't like GTA, but when I was like a kid, I used to fucking love GTA with just cheats. Like,
infinite
fucking
money
spawn in a tank
or
whatever. Like, that's
Whatever.
awesome. Do you want that taken out? Do you want it taken out?
This?
No.
Matthew, what did you bring back from Portugal for Alessandro?
Nothing.
A hard nothing.
Didn't even bring me back a breezer.
I didn't even have to bring you back anything because I know Madeira stole your heart and you'll go back. So it's fine.
That's a good point. It's true.
Matthew, Alessandro.
Some good pregos.
Oh, so good. I would bring you back a prego, but we can just go to Princesa.
Yeah,
come on.
We haven't been in a while.
After you did some podcasting research, what are your thoughts on vocal fray?
Wasn't that when wasn't that the screaming thing?
Yeah. I think I have a feeling we've somewhat addressed that.
Yeah, we did do this. The lowest register of tone characterized by its deep, creaky, breathy sound.
Still don't quite get it, and my answer hasn't changed.
Yeah. I know it sounds good in some heavy metal.
Goddamn.
That's it. That's all I got. That's all I got.
I know. Okay, so this is to me and Lenska. Now
My
that you're
goodness, so
both
many questions.
now that you're both married, what is the worst thing you had to do? Would making a will count as one?
We're making a what?
A will.
Oh, yeah. So what's the worst thing you've had to do so far? That not to do, like coming up, that you've had to?
I don't know. Like I read what in married life or in the build up to marriage.
Oh, I guess the build up counts.
Shit, I don't know. I just know it was a lot of Wedman. But we haven't done a war yet, which is I should get to that.
Wedman is like, I mean, I don't think I think that's any big planning thing. Like the admin is just shitty.
Yeah, I don't know. It makes I didn't say there's a worst thing I've had to do. The thing is, Lenska and I have been living together for 7 months anyway. So all that really changed is like, we're married and it feels nice, but
we got rings now.
We got rings and legally we're married, but we've been living together for 7 months. So it's just normal life.
Yeah,
I guess.
Fair enough.
I guess. And that's we have one more, another one from Megs on email.
On email?
Oh my God. Okay. So wait, let me just pull this up. Oh wait, this is a long question. Okay.
You're a long question.
Your face is a long question.
Wow,
okay, says,
that was rude.
Howdy, Alessandro, hopefully you could answer this for me. What am I? Just chopped liver. I'm just here to read the questions. When it comes to reviewing games, explaining the piracy motive, why don't
that's a big email, sorry.
why don't publishers hand out copies of the games in due time enough for the reviewer to actually finish the game and give a review of the entire game instead of the first half of the game? A case in point is Metro Exodus. Many have complained that it is boring but not completed the game yet. Meanwhile, yourself and Brad Shoemaker of Giant Bomb, and possibly others I don't follow or read up on, have mentioned past the 3-4 hour mark or so it gets to be interesting. I'm ignoring the fact that many games may come out per month and this will affect the reviewing process, but this may be a good incentive to either bring more people into the fold to review the rest, cough Matthew cough, or just specialize on certain games or game genres. Thanks for reading. Here's a slice of pizza and a beer.
That's cool. So I think you're tackling a lot of different things there.
Yeah.
Firstly, any credible published review is generally on the full product. All the places that I know that are respectable will do that. So I think what you're conflating is like someone saying, I only played the first 2 hours and I don't dig it, versus a comprehensive review. Which he mentions Brad Shoemaker, who's from Giant Bomb, and like they do that a lot. Jeff Gertzman says, I played 2 hours of this game, didn't really grab me, whatever. And it doesn't matter if the game gets better after that. Like, that's what it is. Like, there's many times I've started a game, it hasn't clicked with me, and I've just left it. Well, I've learned to do that because, like, I don't have time.
It just hangs over you.
Yeah, I just don't have time anymore.
Backlog of shame.
The reason why publishers don't always give it in time is sometimes like logistical issues. The code's just not ready in time. Sometimes it's strategic. So they only want you to have a specific amount of time to play the game so that you might not have a review ready for launch day, but you'll have good impressions of the first bit and maybe the game tapers off at the end and whatever, you know. There's a lot of planning that goes into when publishers send out code for games. It's not a crapshoot and it's not like completely random. That's why you get games that only get given to press on release day, like anything Bethesda does. That's their prerogative, and you can't really change that. And I still disagree with it, even though they've released some really good games in the past. I still think as a service to the consumers have a right to know whether they are paying for something that is good or not, and that is the central focus of reviews. And the earlier they understand it, the better, especially when there are so many examples of games being like unfinished and broken at launch and stuff like that. Yeah, that's basically it. Again, like any respectable place will have a full review on the full product, and we as individuals, even us, don't have time to play everything. So that's why sometimes we play 1 or 2 hours of something and go, I fucking don't like this, I'm going to move on.
Just some impressions, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people say that like about Metro Exodus, because those first 2 hours are bad. Like, they're really bad. But the game gets really good after that. But I would not blame anyone who played the opening and went, fuck this. This is not what this game should be, and bounced off of it. And like, I would have a tough time convincing them that it's good. I'm having the same problem with Division 2 now, because I'm finding it really boring. But apparently the end game stuff is really good. It's like, but I don't want to invest that time. So,
like Final Fantasy 13, where the first 20 hours is the tutorial.
20 hours?
Yeah, it's
Man,
like,
I was thinking of playing that game.
Nah, well, look, it's not a tutorial. It's just a linear corridor runner before the game opens up. But it is
apparently
like,
the combat's fun though.
The combat's great, but it's like it's hard to sell that to someone when it's like, well, I want this game to be good now. But if you don't want to play,
I found the same with 15 though. It gets off to a real slow start.
But a lot of, I mean, that's a whole different discussion.
It's the same with Persona. I went on and on and on and on about Persona, and a lot of friends, but I know Nicola bought it, and he played like 3 hours, and he's like,
hell no.
He's like, I haven't even done anything. I've just listened to the story. I'm like, yep,
that's it.
That's Persona.
And
he's like,
solid.
I understand that it's a good game, but it's just not for me. I'm like, yep, I get that. Like Persona 4, I'll never forget. Like the very first time I played that, I think the first 4 hours was just dialogue. I was like, what the fuck is this game? Why are people telling me to play? And it turned out it was like one of my favorite games of all time. I understand if like 2 hours in, you're just like, no, fuck this. This is a visual novel. I'm not even playing anything.
Yeah.
Like, I get it.
But just to touch another part of that question, Meg said something about having like genre specialists for, you have someone play a specific genre, that's their forte. And honestly, like in an ideal world, that's a possibility. But like, if I think about my experience with Lazy Gamer / Critical Hits, like I might get a certain genre of game, but realistically, I might be busy reviewing something else at the time. This game needs to have a review written like in a few days. Oh, well, we have to give it to whoever's free. So
exactly. Yeah.
It's just like IGN, let's say, as a big publication, have a massive team that could realistically offer games to specific people because that's their forte. But I think even them, sometimes it's like,
it's tricky.
We can't always, and not only that, sometimes you might have games come out where no one's a specialist on it. No one's played anything in that franchise before. What do? Do you not review it?
But you also, I think any good editor will be cautious of that, because they don't want one person to be reviewing all the RPGs. Because then your critique becomes stale.
You need a mix.
No, you need a mix, because it's like, people always like, you need to get fan of an RPG to review an RPG. And I agree to an extent. I think that it serves no purpose to get someone who avidly, like, I don't like the Elder Scrolls games. So to me, it would not be a good idea to get me to review one
Because
it's not that I'm incapable of critiquing it. It's just that I actively dislike the series enough that my critique might be biased because of that. Which you could apply to someone who's a very big fan of them. They are blind to some of the critiques because. So you need to find someone who you trust who is capable of playing the game is very different to enjoying the game. Like they're capable of playing it and capable of critiquing it, whether they like it or don't like it. That's my view.
Yeah. And that's I mean, we have more questions, but I think we're out of time.
Yeah, we are.
Megs, you have so many questions.
Greatly over. We're 140. How many more are there?
They're formal.
4 more.
From like 3 weeks ago.
I thought we got 2 emails, or was it?
No, there are 2 emails, but the one email has.
Holy shit. Okay, we'll keep that for next week.
Oh, goddamn. Okay.
Yeah.
We're done.
Yeah, I know, because
we're way over now.
1:45. Yeah, Maddie's got.
Oh my god.
Maddie's got Wedman to do. Kidding.
Oh no. All this free time. What am I gonna do?
Yeah, I know. It must feel so reinvigorating and like freeing that you've got all this great free time.
So much time for activity.
Activities are good. Like eating lunch and napping.
Oh my god, playing games. Oh,
yeah,
so much of time.
So good. Yeah, that's been Checkpoint Chat.
Episode 48.
Episode 48. Two more to go until 50.
Midlife crisis.
No sponsors this week.
Yeah.
Boo. If you want to sponsor on this podcast, email us. You heard that good sponsor post a while back?
It was great. Last week was nice.
Yeah,
I was like, whoa, when did we get advert? No,
also, give us feedback on those adverts. Are they placed in the correct place? Are they placed in weird places? We want to hear.
Although you said, I mean, last week was a weird one because we did our top 10 list, and finding a logical spot to slot in an advert was tricky.
Yeah, that was a weird one to kick it off on.
But with our normal formats, I think it should be easy enough to just slot one between like somewhere.
Yeah, so, one of the segments
but
or whatever.
Again, it's a work in progress. This whole podcast is always a work in progress.
It's always under construction.
And adverts are new to us, so give us your feedback. And that's it.
Again, please advertise with us.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, you can follow us anywhere. You can send us questions on. I didn't even do the whole questions rigmarole thing, man. We started
Damn
practice. Can message us on Twitter. Maddie puts out a question post. You can always message us whenever. You can email us, checkpointchatpodcast@gmail.com. Twitter is @checkpointchat. Facebook is facebook.com/checkpointchat. Follow us. Give us likes. Send us questions.
Give us hearts. Be that guy.
Be that guy. Be that guy.
And
until next time.
I'm smoke bombing away.
Oh, you just.
I'm just sitting right in front of you.
That was such a soft. I really enjoyed that.
Well, what's smoke bomb noise anyway?
A bit more violent smoke bomb.
Pa! I'm out.
That's a firecracker. Anyway, goodbye. See you next week.